Hi guys, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to build for your pit amplifier. And if you watched my last video, which was the endurance build for the ridge amplifier, you'll see now how in these two videos how the two amps with this particular build are married together, or linked as it were. Okay, now I can see down there is still the launcher that I put in there and the Blockade that I showed you in the previous video. Well, I'm actually going to show you what you can do to actually replace all that Blockade, which would be a hell of a lot cheaper, which would be to put in a cave blocker, or CB for short, which, if you ignore what I said in that video and then put these structures in the CB block, you'll find it to be as effective but a hell of a lot cheaper. Okay, so what we're going to do first of all is we're going to take all this out.
A few moments later.
On these ways we do actually have sometimes the odd flinger that tries to get through, so what we're going to do, we're going to put a wall piece there which will consist of a wall dart. You can place one either side as well, so what we'll do is we'll just place a 144 this side, and on the other side we're going to put a heel dart on the other side. Okay, right, if we come back down here, it doesn't really matter too much, as long as it doesn't protrude from the actual tunnel itself. We can put, now the CB consists of a 45 stair and a roof like so. Alright, I'm going to upgrade this, and then what you do is you place a freeze trap. Doesn't have to be any impact or anything like that whatsoever, just full durability, the two reload speeds and effect duration on the bottom. Okay, we'll place one there, and we'll place a gas trap on top with heel. Okay, that's the loadout I'm using for that. Right, that is it. If we make our way over to the other side, so we get this done before it's forgotten about, and we will place a heel wall dart on this side. There we go. Right, that should be plenty. Right, and also what we need to do is you want to try and get this out of the way before you get started as well. We need to place two walls down here facing each other like so. Alright, you can put a heel on there as well, which I'll do right now. Heel, heel. Doesn't have to be any damaging perks or anything like that. Notice how I've changed those all to durability. Again, there's going to be enough durability on there. As you can see, look, 965. Now I'm running a durability build as well on my hero loadout. Durability in my traps as well, so yours will show a lot less if you haven't got yours up to at least 245% trap durability. You might have more if you got more than me, etc, etc, but yeah, that should be fine. Right, that's fully upgraded. We'll make our way up the top again, and we'll get rid of this rock here for now. Now what's going to happen here is we're going to be sending all the husks and the enemies all down into here. There will be a platform here which will then, we're going to have them all sent over the top and down to this box we created in the last video here. Okay, and you'll see how this gets utilized now with this amplifier and how we connect these two builds in essence together. All right, the only things that will come through this trap tunnel will be mini bosses and smashers. As you know, smashers aren't affected by floor launchers, okay, nor are mini bosses. So they're the only ones we're going to have to deal with in this area. And because there's going to be no other builds on this amplifier whatsoever, these are basically what's called your decoy pieces down there. These are the two pieces that the smashers and the mini bosses will want to get to. The mini bosses sometimes don't, they'll just keep going in a loop and then respawning, going in a loop and respawning, or just despawn all together. Okay, so what I like to do here is place a floor piece there with a tar pit. Okay, Because what will happen is the smashers will walk through here, they'll detect these two pieces down in that hole, and then what they'll want to do is to stand here or about somewhere here, go into charge mode and then shoot down there. Okay, so this will stop any sort of major charging going on and hopefully keep those two pieces intact, and all that will happen is they'll just get jetted up into the air to do it all over again. Now, one of the things I do like to place as well, just to keep them in check and in control, is build this system here like so. Alright, now previously I have done it like this. I'll just do that first. I would normally use a pyramid like that because I think they look better, but in this circumstance, just quickly for example purposes, I would build like this. But the problem is, when you do it like this and the smashers go down there in charge mode, they're still pretty much in charge mode when they hit the geyser. So when they come up here, this piece here does actually take some damage, or if not get destroyed completely, and they just go shooting up in the air. It's not too bad that they go shooting up into the air, but the problem is sometimes they hit a weird trajectory and then they come down somewhere else. But where I put this in like so, it tends to keep them in a more controlled environment for you. Okay, so what they'll do is they'll charge down there, they'll hit the geyser, come up, and then they'll just get knocked back to here, and then once they've done that, they'll just keep doing that and then walking up and doing that. So they're in a direct run all the time, like a straight. Okay, now we'll get on to the actual build itself, because there's not a lot else, or if anything at all now, that needs to be placed down here apart from a platform or a roof cover that we'll put in here. We can put that in now. Okay, now that roof cover will consist of the 3 connectors like so, and then when you get to here, we'll put a 45 in here. Okay, and then we'll put a staircase in here like I'll show you now. Okay, now this is their path, because once they're down here onto this platform, the platform basically is this here. I'll put it in now so I'll show you. Alright, you won't need another one there, because obviously once you put that in there, there's a possibility that they'll want to try and walk across there. Alright, so we'll put another piece there. I'll turn these two up into a half like so. Okay, and then you'll see why we leave that one open there later in the video. Alright, now once we've done that, we'll place the roof in like so. Alright, and then we'll continue the route up and over the top. That's all done, and we'll put that in like so. Alright, now to stop them from walking around, and what I do is I place a floor, a wall, a quarter piece walls like so. Right, and then I'll put a tar pit and maybe just a bit of 2x just to send them down there, so that when they get knocked off, they don't actually go into the lava, but they'll probably land about here somewhere, and then that'll be fine for them to walk across there. Okay, and then what we don't want to forget is a piece there and a piece there, because what they can do is they can actually bypass the tunnel or the box, trap box there, because they can just walk straight through, and I've seen them do it as well. They'll just walk straight down like this and then around to the amplifier, because that is the route. Once you've put this system in place, this is the registered route that they'll know to get back up to the amplifier. Okay, so we place our wall piece there, our wall piece there. Alright, now I do put a heel dynamo on this one, and I put a heel, again they can't access this one for damage purposes, so we'll just use a durability one on there. Okay, upgrade these two. I'll come back and finish off the upgrade on that later on. Okay, and again, like I say, this will have a tar pit on it, this will have a 2x wall launcher on it. Okay, and that's their route back up once they've been thrown down into this area here. Alright, now with this, what we'll do is we'll put a metal floor plan in like so. Okay, now what I find with endurance is on one of the waves you do have nature. okay, and with the nature smashers that come through here, they do like to attack the metal wall. So what I tend to do, this is one of the only areas you'll see me put anything in other than metal. Alright, now with this you can either try going with a hole and then putting a dart on this one and then 2 wall dynamos or Zappo Maxes on here. Okay, sometimes depending on the RNG it might be worth putting in a triangle like so, or a Dorito, however they like to call it. Alright, and that seems to work as well, sometimes better in some bases, otherwise it's the complete opposite. So your choice is either the windowed wall or the Dorito like so. Alright, we'll go with the Dorito for now. Alright, up here we'll switch back to metal and then we'll put a floor plan in here. Now this overlaps like that, okay, and then what we do is we'll come down here like so, up over the top here briefly, we'll put another wall in there and then we'll drop and then put another wall on here. Alright, this can be blank, that can be blank for traps. On this one will be a 1X launcher, okay, just sending them down onto the plate there, which is why we've left that like so. Alright, because doing that now isn't necessary because nothing's going to really get underneath there because this is in the way. Alright, come back up here, we'll put a wall in like so. You don't tend to have to put a wall in here. For SSDs, if you want to be doing more killing, you can then add these walls in here and put wall dynamos or broadsides on them, etc, etc. Alright, and then what we'll do is we'll put another wall in there. Alright, we'll come up here, flat plate here. Now all this area here has to be blocked off. Alright, so what I tend to do is I'll go into a half floor, come all the way along like so. This last piece we turn into a diagonal floor. Alright, we'll come round here, we'll put another 50%, but this time we're going to put it so that it's turned around, so when they come up they've got that stopper there, okay, and then we'll go with another 50 there, 50 there, turned around. Alright, and we'll do the same here, here, and a diagonal there. Alright, now we'll continue the 50 coming down here, here as well. Alright, in fact on this last run you don't tend to need the floors, so I'm going to take those out, and then what we'll do is we'll just put pyramids down there. Alright, and I'll show you what direction. Well, basically everything needs to be turned up into 45s like so, facing the west. Alright, so if you do that, okay, on the end, these last 3, what I tend to do is I'll just turn the last, or the end 2 should I say, in like so. Alright, and then what we'll do is we'll put a box all the way around, completely around the circumference of this area here. Alright, we can then go across like that. Now you can, if you wish, do this as well. Okay, it all depends on what your building health is as well. You might need that extra piece along the back. Alright, and then what we're going to do is, whilst we haven't got any walls in place just yet, we're just going to cover this area here in pyramids, which will eventually all be turned into the correct positions. Alright, this one will be that way, and then this one we're going to want to turn round 180 so that again we've got that lip there. Alright, put those on as well. Right, now we're going to box this all in.
1 minute later.
Right, that's now boxed in like so. Alright, okay, that's what it'll look like. Right, and from the outside So if you know you got it right when you got those two bare here, okay. And then what we'll do is, now this Meteor over here will be in the way, as you'll soon find out. Once it'll strike again, I'll let you know. So we're waiting for it, we're going to put a Blockade in here. Okay, now you can just put this in. That's all you're going to need there really, alright. That stops any lobbers, or basically it stops pretty much everything. Lobbers do like to come up here and start coming around and start throwing at the amplifier. Flingers may do the same as well, but without that here, they could just walk straight up, down, over the top. Right, here we go, look. Boom, there. Alright, so we can't have this here, because obviously this is right in the middle of our area here. We're going to need to move it forward a tile. Okay, now, the current Meteor shift code for this area here, it used to be this, that, and then the same at the back. And we'll just test it for you now to see if it has actually changed or not. Right, that was the old code. Alright, now we wait for that to go off again. When we come back or come close to this area here, it should strike and still destroy most of this in the middle here, alright? And there it is. Oh, no, it's actually back again. Oh, well, there you go. I stand corrected. Now, I would prefer to use this code because obviously we got a lot more flat plates that are turned up into these sort of blockades like this. Now, this was up until recently, when I've checked, changed to that. Okay, so if the one I've just showed you doesn't work, this is another one that you can buy. There have been ways that you can remove this here as well, but I find that sometimes this is needed. Alright, so I'm going to test that original code that I was using before, because obviously you can tell that that is obviously going to be a lot better than having 3 flats at the back and then only the ones turned up at the front. This one creates a lot more blockade for them, okay? And before I build any more, I just want to make sure that that does still actually work, alright? In the meantime, I'm going to come over here and finish off this portion for you, alright? Now what we're going to do here is come up here, place 3 flats along the back here, alright? We're going to put a wall here, a wall down, and we're going to come down like so, and then put those 2 final pieces in there. Alright, you don't need to put anything over there because the flingers cannot get a proper line of sight, so I'm not going to try and stand right on the edge here and fling over the top there. It's not a problem. Alright, and then if we just jump back up here, we'll place our first 45 here, and then come along like so, that one there and that one there. Alright, now if we come up, it's easier just to jump on top, come round and then come along, so that we're covering 45s on here, because all these down here, these are all going to be floor launchers. Okay, that'll be a floor launcher there, here and here as well. Alright, so anything that's basically going to be a floor launcher will need a 45 roof on it, just to send the husks in the direction we want. Alright, now we're going to do an about turn, and then put these in like so. Alright, and then we're going to complete a catchment box in here. Just copy what I'm doing. And then finally those 2 pieces like that. Okay, now if you want to make sure, you can come down and add those 2 there. Alright, you don't probably need these 2 because obviously they're not going to come out that far to fall over the back there. Alright, so all that's needed there. Alright, so while that's done there, what we'll do is we'll place... Now what you don't want to do when you put these roofs in over the top, these will have electric fields on them. Alright, what you don't want to do is do that, because you've now created a bridge that they will detect, and all they'll want to do is try and bash all the way through here just to walk over the top and down. Alright, so you leave that one open, you don't need to put anything on there. Alright, and also what you don't want to do is put any impact traps in here whatsoever. Try and avoid any impact traps in this area here. So use electric fields, use Zapomaxes, dynamos, wall darts, etc. Everything that's impactless basically. Alright, right, now we'll make our way back over here, see if this Meteor is still shifted in place. That's okay. Alright, so now what we're going to do is put our walls in like so. Alright, then we're going to cover this with pyramids. What you don't want to do is leave these pyramids down here to upgrade them. Alright, so you want to make sure that these are in the 45s straight away, so that they don't cause any problems to the Meteor shift. Alright, and then we'll put our, in fact we don't need these pieces, just the flat pieces there. Alright, right, and again what we're going to do is we're going to come back to that shortly once the Meteor is reset and ready to strike again, and put that in. Alright, right, that's all in place there, that's all in place there. Okay, right, so this is what it's going to look like from the front. Alright, we've got all that blocked off, that's all blocked off. This is basically what will happen. So the route of the husks will be to come through this way, they'll get thrown up onto here, some will come over the top and down. The ones that get launched onto here, these will just get launched back down onto here like so. Alright, so all the husks will get thrown down here. Once they've done that, they've got no other option other than to follow the route that you put in there for them. Alright, so they'll walk up here, they'll walk over the top, they'll walk down, they'll drop down, and they'll walk in here, because they'll want to get to this, they'll want to go for that route there, to that staircase that you put in to get them up there to go through that cave over there. Alright, so obviously what they're going to do is they'll all be just sat in this box doing this. Alright, so when you look on your mini map, you'll just see hundreds of red dots there just doing this in their box. Alright, right, okay, let's get back up here. I'll upgrade these two here. Alright, now I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll show you, because this is fully upgraded here, I'll show you what traps to put on here. Alright, now we're going to go with reload speed, durability and heal on this side with the sound walls. Okay, 1, 2, okay, there's the perk table again for you. And then what we're going to do on the inside, we're just going to grab 2 increase and put one on the back there and one on the back there. Alright, that's all that's really needed in that box. Okay, and this again, like I said, is a heal, nothing special, just a durability. And then we've got a heal Zapomax on this wall here. If you haven't got Zapomax's wall dynamos are exactly the same, these are just a reskin. Alright, right, let's double check that has been locked in over here, which it has. If anything, I think it's moved a little bit further forward, which is great. Alright, now make sure everything's in place, which it looks to be. Alright, right, I'll just have this all upgraded for you, and when I come back I'll show you how to trap it out. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and welcome back. As you can see now, fully upgraded. Right, so basically what we're going to need to do first is all these pyramids will now need to be put in the correct positions. Alright, so they're all going to be facing west, so that one's going to be up, to 45 like so. This one will be, let's have a look what we got here. This will be a 45. 45. Same again. Right, this one here, leave down, okay, because this one is the slope that we covered up here, alright. So this one is the only one we're going to keep down in the pyramid position like so. This one will need to be in a 45 facing north. The same with this one. Okay. This one will be facing west like the others, alright. And then we'll come along here and do the same with that one. This one. Now this one on the end, we're going to have in a diagonal facing southwest, alright. This one will be a 45 facing west. Same with this one. And these. That one's already done. And the back we did earlier on before we upgraded it all, okay. These don't have anything underneath, as you can see. It's just concrete, as you can see there. Right, so that's all now been placed correctly. And then what we do sometimes, now again this build is, and like most builds are all down to player positioning, alright. So when this wave starts, if you're not going to be standing on any sort of AFK spot and you're actually going to want to play the game, then what you want to be doing is when the wave starts, or just before the wave, you and whatever crew or friends you've got with you are standing on this section here. You can go up here. I wouldn't recommend you go right over the top there. Oh, I've missed a bit down here. Oh dear me, look at this. Shame on you. There we go. Right, so you stand around about here. Don't stand too far over the edge there, because all the enemies will see you. You just try and keep yourself out of eye line shot from them and just stand here. Basically your job is just to pull the husks in the direction you want them to, which is on this side of the trap tunnel, not the blockade side. If anybody's standing over there, then well, it's either going to be a fail or you just kick them, alright, if they don't want to, if they're just standing there not doing anything. You want to make sure that you're on this side, okay. Right, so we're going to trap this out here. Right, these two, because you've got 45s above your head, you're going to want to need to use something that will basically reach up there, good, powerful enough to get them up onto there or even over the top straight away. Alright, now to do that we're going to be using either 135X, or you can even go as far as using 144 5X if you can craft or get hold of them. Sometimes what I do find is that these 5X 144s have too much knockback on them, which can actually damage the husk to even destroy them. So we just go with the 130 durability at the bottom. Right, so those two there. Alright, knock them back right over the top. Okay. Now these we can just put crit wooden floor spikes on here. These are the 144 ones, okay. And then we'll put two heal Zappo Maxes or wall dynamos here and here. Okay. And then we'll put two more heal there and there, okay, because they're going to drop down there, and whatever comes down there will get zapped by these two as well. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to have a wall dart here and a wall dart here, so we're going to basically want to put a dynamo here. You can put a wall dart on that one if you want to. Alright, and then we'll put a wall dynamo here. Alright, and then that'll be a wall dart there. Alright, so now we're going to put our wall darts down. Okay, now I would recommend putting heal ones in here. Alright, so 1 2 3 4 5 should be enough. Alright, one there, one there, one there, one there, and booger. And hadn't crafted in time. Okay, there we go. So there's our so basically we put heal everywhere through here, apart from obviously the floor. Alright, Right, and on these 3 we're going to put electric fields. 1, 2, 3. Alright. That's all upgraded. Now I did actually put this extra piece in here which wasn't in the original build side of the video. Alright, so put that in and upgrade it as well. Alright, because sometimes when they're standing down there they might see the option to throw through there. Alright, so put that piece in and upgrade it. Alright, now notice how I've put a heel on this side here. Wall dynamo. We're also going to put a heel wall dynamo on this wall here, because this obviously is one of the, it can be used as a walkway, and if they're up here enough time for this reset they might bash on this wall here. Alright, so this is more only to heal the wall as it is more to cause the husk damage. It will cause the husk damage of course, but not enough to kill them off to cause a respawn, but it's there just to heal. Alright, majority of the time what will happen is once this floor trap has been reset, boof, they're down there anyway. Alright, and then on this and the other one that I've just placed these dynamos on, you come around the back and then we'll put an increase on the back of these 2. Alright, so you put a 1 there and 1 there. Okay, that's those 2. Right, so the exit portion of the tunnel has been trapped out and completed. So if we make our way into the main area itself, we'll put 3x along here. 1, 2, 3. We'll put 3 X's along here. 1, 2 and 3 again. Alright, and on these 2 what we're going to use, because they're so high up, and this one we want to be pushing them as far this way as possible, we're going to be using 4x. Okay, so we'll take our 4x. I think they're both the same. Oh no, that's what we got here. There we go. 4, 1 there and 1 there. Okay, now you can, if you want to, put a sound wall on here, so we're going to do that now. We're going to be using a probably just a durability, don't worry about reload speed sort of thing, because you're going to get a lot of the husks come through here, if not all of them, so you don't want this to run out of durability really. Alright, so forget reload speed or anything like that, we'll use heal. We'll put 1 there. Alright, and we can put 1 there if need be as well. Alright, because this sometimes does take a little bit of damage. Alright, so you want that to heal when you're not around, or you might forget to come and have a little look afterwards. Now on the endurance, obviously this is wave 4. Now wave 4 is torn apart, the war games mode. Alright, so a lot of this system here, especially at the front of the tunnel or the back depending on how you look at it, all this blockade here, through here, across here, over the top, and even over there, down there, a majority of the systems here will get the tornado rush through it. Alright, and when it does obviously cause some damage, and if not, sometimes even traps do actually get pulled off the structure itself, especially this one here and this one here. These are renownedly taken out. Alright, so you all need to come through after wave 4, or one of your buddies, if you're not on your own solo, to come along here, or if your buddies are going to go and carry on what's going on in the next wave, you just come in here, run through, make sure everything's repaired, replace any traps and everything like that you need to, replace this floor here. Okay, to make sure it's all ready for the future waves. Alright, and we'll just get back in here. Right, we've trapped all that out. Now you won't need any trap on here, alright, because they're not going to spend a long time in here at all, because we're going to be putting a 1x will be, I think, sufficient. 1, drop down, and another 1 there. This is just to knock them off down onto this plate. Alright, so that's that done. Right, if you want to now, because they're going to get stunned or they're going to stand here and dance for any length of time, we could put a, we only really need to get them off this wall really, so a 3x will be fine on that one there, like so. Alright, which is going to be a different reload speed to the 4x there. Just double check I've got everything done. I believe so. We just run the path quickly. Come through here, over the top. Here we go. As mentioned before, we're going to put a tar pit here, and a 2x on this here, just to send them back down there, and they'll actually land on this floor about there, and then they'll just, once they're down there, just walk through and into the box. Okay, we'll continue walking the path. We'll double check that's all in place. Again, they're heel traps. Okay, these two are heel. Okay, and we've got our increases on the back. They do sometimes phase through this. Now, to counteract any phases, what I can do is place, so what I say, or what I sometimes place myself, is this like that, and then I'll put a target on here, and then we'll do a 3x, should be fine on here. Alright, like so. Alright, and if that doesn't work, and you still get the odd husk come through. Now, the reason why I've changed that to that is once they phase through here, they could just walk off down here like so. Alright, but you don't really want them to do that, so what we do is we place that like so, so that when they do phase through, they have to drop onto here and then walk up and round. Alright, you can if you wanted to, and what I have done in the past before now is I've placed that there like so. I've actually changed, no I haven't, what I've done is I've placed that like that. Alright, I then change that to this and place that there, and then you get your 45, chuck that up there. Alright, we'll upgrade all this quickly. Alright, and then we'll put a we could probably get away with a 3x, you know, on here. That should be enough just to chuck them back over the top and down onto here. Look there, we don't want to send them too far over into the lava if we can help it. Alright, so just enough to knock them back over the top, and the height on that should be enough just to knock them back over the top. Alright, and then because this is now a full wall, we can place a non-impact wall light on here just to stun them enough for the wall light, or just stun them enough just for the wall launcher to knock them back and over the top. Alright, because you do get the odd few, like I say, phase through, and you get one or two of them come over the top and walk over, and if you're not watching what you're doing, they will actually hit the amplifier and you won't get a flawless victory, in the words of Mortal Kombat. Alright, okay, so there is your pit amplifier build for your endurance and your SSDs. Alright, now like I say, if you want to use it for SSDs and it is a timed wave will be fine. They'll just come down here and they'll come around and do what the endurance wave does. If you don't want to be doing a timed, or should I say, if you don't want to be doing a kill, if you don't want to be doing a stall or jail build, all you've literally got to do is just get rid of this platform. That's literally it. So if you want to build this, because this will work for your SSDs as well as your endurance, alright, and just by literally taking this floor plan out here, we'll turn this from a recycle stroke jail build into a kill build, alright, because they'll all just land in the lava and that'll be fine. Alright, and this will be your build for both all your SSDs and for your endurance. Now, one thing I would bear in mind, if you do plan on using this build for your SSDs, this is a lobber wave, alright, and if it's a lobber wave, you are going to have to tackle these lobbers, alright, and to do so, just for the SSDs, you are going to have to cover a majority of this area here over, so that you can place anti-airs on. Alright, now one thing I did actually forget to show you or put in for you was just an extra bit of protection by adding these three pieces here, which brings everything in line at the front like so. Alright, so make sure you've added these three walls in here like so. Alright, and then because you've got that wall in, you don't tend to have too much. You can place them in there if you want to, and then every single one of these one tier, upgrade them obviously to tier 3, as well as these ones down here, or these two. Alright, now you would possibly want to place a couple more here as well, and then put anti-airs on here. Alright, this is literally only for your SSDs. This will not be necessary for endurance. Okay, so once you've got SSD 10 out of the way, the first thing you do when you come over to this build is take all these out again with all the anti-airs on them. Okay, so you take all these out like so.
A few moments later.
Just for your SSDs, you will need anti-airs, trust me, because they go absolutely ballistic. Right, and then final touch here as well. Sometimes, depending on RNG, you might have the odd flinger, blaster, or huskies, or anything like that want to try and get on here. They just think they can just go straight through here. So what I tend to do on these is put a couple of heal wall launchers on them. I think we'll just use 2x with heal. So if I just find those now, there's my 3. If I change these out, yeah, there it is. There's 2x with heal. And I place one here and one here. Okay, that should be enough. If you still have problems and they keep walking back, just put a sound wall either side here with heal on it as well. Okay, doesn't matter whether it's reload speed or just durability. Alright, okay, I've only found that just adding these 2 heal wall launchers on here is fine. Alright, but I think that is it. There we go. Right, so here is again your pit for SSDs and Endurance. If you found this video interesting, please like and subscribe, and then consider using my supporter creator code 7SUP as you see here. If you have Discord, come join our Discord server, STW Central. The link will be in the description and bolted onto the end of the video as usual. Okay guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.